When you hear the music, you know what's up. You know what's up, right? Skip happens. Good evening, everybody. Or should I say good afternoon? And we'll explain that here in a minute. But welcome to Skip Happens. It's another great episode tonight. Of course, we're always talking about country music and why country music is so good. And I tell you, we have artist after artist after artist, and they're bringing out the best of the country right now. And right up there is my good friend Deb Lamphere, president and founder of the Country Music Fan Club. And right over there, I get confused when I look at the camera and then I look at the screen. Mm-hmm. Right over there, her name is Lucie Tiger, and we'd like to officially welcome her to Skip Happens here tonight. And hello, Lucie, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks, Skip. Thanks for having me. Hey, Deb.
Hello. Welcome.
I want you to keep talking so everybody can hear your accent. So, you know what? Okay, describe your surroundings and where are you?
Okay, I'm in my lounge room.
Okay.
It's daylight outside.
What does that tell you?
Lunchtime.
What does that tell you?
I don't sound like I'm from New York. I'm in Sydney, Australia.
Dang.
Isn't that exciting?
If you go real close, you'll see the kangaroos hopping down the street.
Really?
Wouldn't that be awesome?
I know, wouldn't that be so cool? They're so cute. But yeah, no, we don't have them in the city.
Oh, but do you see them if you go for a ride in the country?
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now, answer a question for me. Are they? Can they be pretty mean?
They're generally more afraid of you than you are.
You know what's up. Oh.
Sorry, I was making sure my watch party was going.
You're gonna get in on the kangaroo chat. Yeah. They're actually really timid.
Really?
Yeah, they run away from you.
Okay, good. Because
they're very sweet. The little babies are really cute, and you can bottle feed them and stuff. They're so cute. I've done that.
That's all. That's all. You're right in Sydney. You're right in the city.
Yep.
Yeah, and you must be right by the bay then. I mean, we see the pictures of the bay, and what's the building that's right there? It's the coolest building I've ever seen.
The Opera House?
Yes.
The big one? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. That is a cool place. I've been there a few times to I played a show there once, like ages ago. And they have the big rooms and they have these little rooms as well, and it's a really cool place. The harbor is like 5-minute walk down that way. Nice.
And now it's summer there, which means your temperatures are what on the Fahrenheit? What are they?
So it's kind of been a bit of a weird summer. Normally it gets very hot, and we've had a few hot days where it gets up to about 100 degrees Fahrenheit, literally 100. But at the moment it's sort of sticking around like the 75 to 80. So it's been quite nice. It's been very rainy though. So I haven't been to the beach as often as I would have liked, but it's still pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the actual summer season?
It technically starts in December till February, but generally February is the hottest month.
Right.
So February in Sydney is you ever been to New Orleans in like July?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that, really sticky, humid.
Oh, that's my kind of weather all the way.
Yeah. I love the hot weather. Mm-hmm. So February's my month.
So what is it like right around Christmas time there?
Yeah, it's hot. We're in like t-shirts and shorts, and it's kind of really funny because the vast majority of people still eat like the sort of traditional Christmas food, like the turkey and the ham and everything. It's like a hot meal in the middle of summer. But then some people do the whole like seafood thing, it's hot Christmas. I would love to have a white Christmas. I've only ever seen snow twice in my entire life. So I am a true Sydney sider, but I would love to have a white Christmas one day.
Well, I'll tell you, I can't even imagine having a warm Christmas, because a long time ago we went to Florida and had Thanksgiving in Florida, and it was just very backwards. It was just not right having turkey when it was 80 degrees outside. We did it once and we're like, we have to be in the cold weather for the holidays. So, and I know you were brought up that way, but it just sounds so weird to us.
Yeah.
I know. And the funny thing is that me and my parents, we are hoping when this whole coronavirus thing ends to move to the States. And my birthday is in February. So I'm going to go from having, birthdays down at the beach in like t-shirt and shorts and like swimmers and stuff to being all like rugged up in a coat. I'm like, maybe that week in February, we could go down to Florida.
There you go.
Smart.
Well, I don't want to give up my summer weather birthday.
I know we need to talk about you and talk about your music and how good you are. I'm totally blown away. I was telling Deb before you came on that I've been listening to your music all afternoon. It's like, wow, it's really good. I love the style and all that. But I will say, backing it up a little bit, you're talking about Christmas and you're talking about the weather. I think, Christmas, it's beautiful when it snows. When you have a nice, easy snow and things are white and it's puts you right into the mood, right into the spirit.
Yeah.
Deb said it's the way we've been brought up. So that's what we're so used to. But to me, that's beautiful. When we hit this time of the year, February here, and it's the middle of winter, it's like, okay, it can stop anytime.
We're ready. Yeah.
We're ready to get into March, April. Let's get spring, summer for us. So, yeah. Crazy.
Well, you know what? Next year in February, we'll just have to go to Australia.
Yeah, come on down.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know if I could take that. Just real quickly, the plane ride is how long?
Well, if you're coming from Dallas, it'll be 17 hours. If you're coming from LA, it'll be 14. So bring a good book or 5.
Well,
or 5. Yeah.
Or some movies and lots of music.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if you can fly direct from New York to Sydney. I know you can fly direct from Brisbane to Chicago now, but they still can't get that big all the way over to the East Coast yet.
See, where we are in the Northeast, we would have to probably fly to one of the big hubs and either make our way to Dallas or LA. So that's on top of those hours, the 17 hours that you were talking about. So, wow, that's a long ass flight.
It is really long. And last time we did it, our first stop in the States was actually Chicago. We had a connecting flight in Dallas, Fort Worth that then got canceled because Chicago was having a big storm. So after our 17-hour flight, we then had to sleep in Dallas, Fort Worth airport overnight.
Crazy.
So it was, I think our first day in Chicago, we were walking around like complete zombies. Maybe 3 hours in the last 2 days.
And that's a whole nother adjustment, getting your body to adjust to a whole different time zone and sleeping and eating. I think, my son took a trip to Australia years ago, and I think it took him like 3 or 4 days to adjust to the timing. I don't know if that was just him or if that's normal or what, but
I find it always easier traveling east. Like when I go west, if I go, I sometimes went to Thailand for a summer holiday. I would be so jet lagged, but heading over to the US, it's always, I don't know. I think I have my first plate of pancakes and I'm like, all right, I'm here. It's good.
Right.
Time.
I love it. Let's talk about you and your music. So you've been playing music for a little bit now. How often do you get to Nashville?
I would love to get there way more often than I do. We went over in 2019 and we were planning on come back last year, which didn't happen. And we were planning on coming this year, which fingers crossed we can get back there. But we do like to come as often as we can. I love Nashville. It's changed so much. The first time I went there, it was in 2011, and it's just grown. It's huge now. There's like so many huge buildings. It's amazing.
It's a whole new city.
Yeah. Like a crane on every corner. crazy.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, there's just so much building going on. It's amazing.
And it continues. And it's probably one of the fastest growing cities because so many people like yourself doing what you do, being an artist, you want to get known, you want to get yourself out there. You got to go to Nashville. You've got to, get in with the right people, which you're doing very well. You've got a great team behind you. And that's how we got you on this podcast. It's a step in the right direction. But let's talk about your music a little bit. How long have you been writing? How long have you been singing? All that.
I've been writing quite a while now, probably going on about maybe 10, 12 years, probably. There's always a lot of songs and lyrics that just end up on the cutting room floor, as I'm sure you'd understand. But it's been a really good journey. I started off playing piano when I was 6, so really little, and I didn't mind it. Piano was kind of fun, but then my dad brought home a guitar and taught me how to play guitar. And he was a typical, 1970s kid. He would jam with his friends and have a huge record collection that he ended up, selling off every week for rent. So, he kind of introduced me to a lot of awesome music. The Allman Brothers, Lynyrd Skynyrd, the Rolling Stones, Jimi Hendrix, Linda Ronstadt, Dolly Parton, all of that amazing music that, I then sort of got influenced by and started coming out in my music.
Those are all the artists we grew up with.
Yeah, exactly.
Good music.
Good music.
Talk to us about Gasoline.
Yeah, Gasoline is super fun. So that's a song that I wrote about my love for being on the road. If there is anything I love, as much as playing music and listening to music, it is just driving around. I just cannot get enough of those, 2-lane county roads in the States. They're always so beautiful, and there's like no traffic, and the scenery is so beautiful, and it's so different to Australia. In Australia, there's a lot of, Australia is the size of America in terms of the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we have 25 million people living here in the entire country. You guys have like 300. So there's just way fewer towns and cities that you pass by when you're driving around. And one thing I love is just taking these little roads and, seeing the water tower up in the distance and going, oh, I wonder what the name of this town is. And, and just driving into every town and I remember there was, one road I was taking and on the street sign, it said, Memphis is 30 miles, but Moscow is 5 miles. And I was like,
what?
I just love that. I love the names of US towns. I just love being on the road, and Gasoline is just my love letter to that. And on top of that, I love a good muscle car. So I just love the idea of getting behind the wheel and just driving off.
Is that what you did when you hit the States? You actually took a ride. You went to like a lot of like in the mid part of the country, just got in the car and went.
Yep. We drove from Nashville to Muscle Shoals.
Okay.
And Muscle Shoals to Memphis to Clarksdale in Mississippi, and then Clarksdale to Little Rock.
And how long ago was this?
This was in 2019.
Right, so just recently, actually. So yeah.
So curious, in Australia, do you drive on the right side of the road or the left side of the road?
We drive on the left. So I was on the other side of the road when I was in the US, and I was like,
this is not good.
I'd have been a nervous wreck.
This is interesting. Well, that was one of the reasons why I was taking those little roads, not the big interstates.
Yeah.
I think driving straight wouldn't be a problem. My problem would be the left and the right turns at the intersections.
Yeah.
Because
like a left turn and just like go for it, and then I'd be like, oh, hang on a minute.
What about when you hit a roundabout?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, what was that?
What about when you, not just an intersection, but when you enter a roundabout? You go the opposite way, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I'd be so confused.
There's a lot of like very intense thinking about driving, which, driving is just one of those things that, you kind of do like mindlessly. You're on autopilot, that all of a sudden everything is swapped over. and it was an experience. But US drivers, well, at least in the part of the US where I was, in the kind of southeast, were so polite. They were very polite. They didn't like tailgate me or anything, which was really nice. I feel like maybe that's different in the north. I don't know, but
no, we're laughing because you totally were not with the New York City drivers and the New York drivers. That's for sure. Because we're not always so well. I'm polite, but there's a lot that are not polite. That's why we're laughing. So,
but driving in Sydney would be like driving in New York. It is very intense. And so it was a nice change for everyone to be so relaxed and, Southern.
Oh, man. So you've got, is it this month that you've got a EP coming out or something? Do you have?
Yeah, I've got a new single coming out at the end of this month.
That's what it is. Tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. It's called Found My Home, and it's about, I feel like I'm going to sound like a broken record in a minute. It's about driving around the US again. But I really did find what I felt was my sort of spiritual home in Muscle Shoals in Alabama. It was just the most amazing place. Everyone was so warm and welcoming and really respectful. Sometimes in Australia especially, we are a little bit old-fashioned, and there's still a lot of that, male chauvinist thing happening a little bit here. Down in Muscle Shoals, there was none of that. And I was just this girl walking into the studio with these session musicians who, this guy has played with Ray Charles, that guy has played with Buddy Raitt, this guy produced the, Greg Allman album that was nominated for a Grammy. And they're all just like, okay, so let's do this song. Cool. It's really fun. How does it go? Oh, it starts from that note. Awesome. Let's do it. They were just so easy to work with and so lovely. Bob Ray on bass, Justin Holder on drums, Will McFarlane on guitar, John Gifford III in the engineer. And, got a shout out because they were amazing. They were really great. And we ended up working with them again for this new single. I was meant to be over there in September recording it with them. And obviously I couldn't do that because in Australia, they won't even let us leave. So we can't leave. We're kind of like trapped here, which is, kind of, I guess, sort of good, but sort of a little bit annoying.
For what you're doing, yes, because you do need to kind of touch base with Nashville. I mean, your music's coming out here in the States and it's getting on the radio, and sooner or later, you're going to have to leave that beautiful weather.
They gotta let me leave. But we managed to do the recording. So I did the vocals and guitar here, and then all the guys did the rest of the stuff over there. So it all worked out like a dream. The song sounds amazing. There's all of these little, little Easter eggs in there that I think will be really fun for. Like on the surface, it's just a fun song that you listen to and you're like, I feel. But then like if you go a bit deeper, it's there's a line in there where I say, I found fame in Florence. And most people would kind of be like, But, it's if you look at the lyrics, the fame is all capitalized because it's actually in studios. And even though they're in Muscle Shoals, fame stands for Florence, Alabama Music Enterprises. So there's all kind of like little, just little things in there, taking the 51 down through Mississippi, that's my preferred route.
and you wrote that one all by yourself, or did you have a team for that song?
No, I wrote that all by myself.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. That's why there's all those little hidden things, because they have meaning to you.
Definitely.
Like that. You got in on a little secret.
Yeah, exactly. This is amazing. I'm just blown away that we're talking to you and you're in Sydney and we're in the Northeast here in the United States, Syracuse to be exact. So it just blows me away that we can do this. And who would have thought 20 years ago, you were just talking about how you put your tracks down and did everything there at home, and then the rest was put together over here in the States, and it's all done. I guess a lot of it's done with the technology that we have nowadays. 20 years ago, we would not have been doing this. And who would
I
have
know, it's crazy, right? It's amazing.
Yeah, and we've been pushed into this, and maybe it's a good thing because we've learned how to do things differently. And Deb and I have talked about this before, that the pandemic, I mean, actually, there's a good side to this where we have learned to adapt to a new way of doing things. For example, what we're doing here tonight. So
yeah, this is really cool.
it's very cool. So who would have thought? Have you done any writing like via Zoom or with people over here in the States? And
It's funny. I've actually, confession, I've never really co-written.
Cool.
Yeah, I write my stuff all by myself.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm open to it. Oh my gosh, I would never say no if anyone came up and said, last time I was in Nashville, I was talking to a guy, and he was saying, I love your stuff, I'd love to co-write next time. And I was like, yes, definitely. So I would love to, but yeah, all my stuff so far is just me.
Wow.
Country music here in the States is extremely popular. So how is country music taken over in Australia? Just curious.
It's pretty popular here as well. It's this will kind of sound a little bit dumb, but it's really popular literally in the country. So in like the rural areas, they love it. It's not all that popular in the city. So you do have to, if you want to tour, most big bands will sort of tour around like, the big city centers. But if you want to tour with country music, you kind of have to go, to these small little towns and get out into the, the outback. And it makes for definitely an interesting sort of genre over here, where the people who are making the music are in the country. They're actually country people. So it's kind of cool. It's a little bit different. I love the Nashville country sound, and it's super fun. And yeah, so it's kind of the same, but a little bit different too. There's still a lot of utes and trucks, and utes are what we call trucks.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
What's a ute?
Well, it took me a second for it to register, and then as you were saying it, I thought, I wonder if that's what she means, and that's
okay. Yeah. So we call trucks utes because it's a utility vehicle, so it's a ute. So being Australian, we shorten everything.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's just what we do. So McDonald's is called Macca's, things like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Macca's. So you go to Macca's, get yourself a number 3 value meal.
Yep. Everyone loves Macca's.
I love it. What do they call? Do they have like Burger King or places like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And what do you call Burger King?
Oh, we call Burger King Burger King.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
You take the ute and you go to Macca's and get yourself a Big Mac.
Yeah.
I got
it. And then you gotta, watch out for the fireys over there. That's what we call our firemen, fireys.
Fireys. You call a fireman a fiery.
Yeah.
I've never. I'm sorry. I'm just laughing because I think it's kind of funny and it's different. Everybody has.
It's definitely funny.
I'll let you in on a secret. I was a fiery for 20 years. So,
wow.
Yeah. So I mean, I also doing the radio thing, and I no longer do the fiery thing. But
we're getting so educated here between new music and the traditions of Australia. I love it.
And I love my utes. I love my utes. Man, I love trucks.
So much respect for the fireys here because you probably saw last year the bushfires that we had here were unbelievable. I mean, they got really, really close to Sydney as well. There was smoke just blanketing the city. And I think there are actually some American firefighters that came over and I think died, which was just shocking. It was shocking for all of us. But, I mean, we were so thankful. And, all respect to fireys everywhere because they literally, just save lives and property. And,
no doubt we can't do it without them. I mean, I know I no longer do it, but I know a lot of people that do. So yeah. So we got to get back to talking about your music.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is that a smoke alarm going off?
That is my dryer. I'm sorry.
You want to go get it or whatever?
No, it should stop. It should stop now.
For once it wasn't my phone or something in my house.
Or my washing machine that beeps in the other room. Beep, beep, when the load is done.
So
and if you don't go and open the top, it'll keep beeping until you acknowledge that you've got your load. So.
Modern technology, right?
Love it.
That's all right.
So are your venues open out there? Are you able to perform anywhere?
Yeah. So it's not completely back to normal yet, but there are venues that are open. So I had a gig last night. I've got one tonight and one tomorrow. And it's we've still got like restrictions on the amount of people inside the venue. That should be the last time.
Okay.
That should be the last.
I love it. You know,
Anything goes. Anything goes. Sometimes Skip's dogs will be pouncing around.
Live television.
Live. Yeah.
What a podcast is all about. We do this.
Right.
It's just conversation. We're having fun, and we find out about everybody. We find out about you, and you find out about us, and it's all good fun. And we have a lot of viewers, and we have a lot of listeners. So it's cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot what the question was.
I was just asking about your venues and if you can actually perform. Yeah.
Yes. So we can. We've got like restricted capacities inside, but hopefully that should lift. I think tomorrow. I think they'll lift those restrictions tomorrow. So I think we've gone about 20 days without a case in my home state. So
that's excellent.
That is amazing.
Yeah, they were just so they cracked down so fast and just closed borders and closed everything and huge shutdown for about 2 months last year. And it really sucked at the time.
Yes, we know.
We know. And we're
I'm sure it's still so bad for you guys. And I have so many friends over in the States, and I feel so sorry for you guys. It just, I can only hope that they get the vaccine out fast, that it all just gets under control, that everything can just get back to normal for everyone, and we can just go back to normal. I don't want coronavirus anymore.
They have rolled the vaccine out. Of course, I would assume they have there as well. But a lot of people have already gotten their second shot. So there's
awesome.
But they're doing it in stages, or how do I want to say this? Like, right now it's 65 and over. And I think starting on Sunday, you can, if you got somebody with disabilities or somebody that's vulnerable about getting sick or something, then they can. Was that your beep again? By the way, are they the whites or what's in your dryer? Are they the whites or they're the whites? Yeah. Okay.
I'm hoping that is the last time. If it goes off again, I'd go over there with my baseball bat and just be like,
No,
he's just busting on you.
I know. I'm kidding. It does not matter. It's all good, Lucie. We're talking with Lucie Tiger tonight. And don't forget, we've got her, if you're watching this, you'll see her website there and you can find everything out about her. Just a phenomenal artist. Exactly. I urge you to, we get off this podcast, go on YouTube and look her up and watch the music. And if you go to the website, I'm sure you can purchase the music as well. So that's cool. And we have to help out the artists because this has not been an easy time with the pandemic. So I know. Exactly. I was going to ask, do you have merchandise on there or no? I didn't even.
Yeah, I do. I've got, I've actually got brand new baseball caps, which are really cool. That's my baseball cap. Look, they're really cool. I've got t-shirts. I've got some tank tops as well. So yeah, there's definitely some really cool merch going on, and and I ship worldwide as well. So that's I always say to everyone, that's a really, really good way to support artists is to buy merch.
Absolutely. And Deb and I always push that with the artists, especially now with the pandemic. A lot of them, they got some side gigs, I should say. Some of them have side gigs. A lot of them do not. And, when everything's shut down, everybody's kind of suffering a little bit. So, it's tough. It's tough. You got your guitar there, you said earlier. Do you want to play something? Give us a little taste of what LucieTiger sounds like.
Sure.
Hear it.
I would love to. All right, I'll just make sure that y'all can see.
Yeah, I see Gordy. Wait a minute, what's he doing here? Hang on, let me looking under store on her website. There you go. She'll ship it, Gordy. She'll ship it to you.
I sure will. All right, I'll give you a little sneak peek of my new song, huh?
I love it.
Oh, great.
So this is Found My Home. Well, I'm heading out of Nashville, ran it on my gas bill, took the old highways back on a Monday, heading for the state line. Crossed the river on the 43 to the pet cemetery, found famous flowers, found I didn't want to leave this funny old town. And I said, oh, found where I'm wanted, don't need to drive no more, 'cause I got all of my own. And I said, oh, buy a little house, get a dog and a white picket fence, it's right here. I found my home. Now you gotta try the catfish on the way to Memphis. The sun always shines there, even in the nighttime, and always when it's raining. Cross the train tracks 10 times, take the 51 down Mississippi on your right. Hear the river on that singing that same old song. And I said, oh, I found where I'm wanted, don't need to drive no more, 'cause I got all of my own. And I said, oh, buy a little house, get a dog and a white picket fence, 'cause right here I found my home. On the 40 back to Bama, it's my home now. I tell you, get back to my baby. I'm fast in this Chevy Gold. I wanna be home soon. Cross the river on the 43 to the pet cemetery. Found famous flowers, found I didn't wanna leave this funny old town. And I said, oh, I wanted, don't need to drive no more, 'cause I got all of my own. And I said, oh, buy a little house, get a dog and a white picket fence, 'cause right here I found my home. And I said, oh, buy a little house, get a dog and a white picket fence, 'cause right here I found my home.
Wow.
Ooh.
All right, I have a question. I have a big question. I have a very important question. What happened to the accent when you sang?
I was thinking the same thing. Isn't that amazing how that happens?
It it vanishes.
But that just blows my mind. Are you trained to do that, or do you do that naturally?
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of this weird sort of thing where the style of music I'm playing just makes my voice do that, and then my voice doing that kind of influences my playing, and so then they just sort of it naturally.
That baffles me.
Me too, Deb. And listening to all types of music, and of course a lot of different artists from all around the world, and you don't hear the accent in so much of that. And then when they would do an interview or something like we're doing here, it's like, oh, wow, okay. It's phenomenal. So that's the next single.
That's the next one.
That's cool. That is so upbeat and such a good song. I can see a carload of girls going down the road all singing that song. And that's a good thing, because if you can make the ladies happy, you're going to make the guys happy. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So
that's very true.
That's the idea.
That's when you were here in the States, did you have a chance to visit many radio stations or no?
No, I didn't get a chance. It was a very quick visit, and we were doing a lot of driving and we were doing a lot of recording. So yeah, I didn't get a chance, but I mean that was definitely on the cards for the trip that got canceled. So it'll definitely be on the cards for the next one for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Do what they call the radio tour. Stop by, make yourself known and introduce yourself to the people that matter, and to get you on the radio. So that's what you need. And I know this is, I mean, we hear all sorts of music. This is phenomenal. Again, we have, and I said it in the beginning of the podcast, Deb and Lucie, that this is what makes country music so great. And it's the upbeat, the feel good stories about, like you're talking about, you're singing about being on the road. Country music, that's what it's about. It's about what we're doing, and it's about our lives. Man, I'm telling you got it. You got it going right there. Really.
And it's all that personal experience, which is great. And you're portraying that to your audience, and we can relate to that because there are people out there that are traveling all the time. So you've just put into words things that they're feeling.
It's so funny because I was talking to the grassroots ladies, and one of them even said, oh, well, I drive up and down from Nashville to Muscle Shoals all the time, and I always take the 43. And I was like,
see? They can relate.
By the way, I love them. I've known them for years. Nancy Tunick is just, they are so good, and they've got such a team behind them, and they do treat their artist very, very well. That I do know for a fact. And I talk to them every week, and just phenomenal people. So you've made a good choice there, at least in my opinion. You've made a good choice.
They're amazing. They're so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're born and raised in Australia, in Sydney?
Yeah.
And you're considering moving to the States.
Mm-hmm.
So are you nervous? I mean, you are uprooting your entire life from a whole nother country to come over to the States. I'd be scared.
I think the only thing I'm kind of nervous about is my cats on the plane. I'm just a little worried about how they're going to go on the plane, but everything else, I'm just like, I'm so ready. The people are so nice, and we have a bunch of friends in Muscle Shoals already and in Nashville, and I know that they'll just sort of welcome us with their Southern charm that they all have. So I'm just excited. I just wish I could have done it yesterday. You know what I mean? I'm just so ready. I keep saying to my cats, I mean, I don't know if you guys have pets and talk to them like they're people, but I'm always like, oh, Frankie, just wait until you see a squirrel for the first time. Oh my God, you're going to be like, what's that? Just wait until you see snow. I'm just ready.
I've never heard somebody so excited about seeing snow in my life. I mean, really, but no, I get it. I understand it. All kidding aside, I have 2 dogs. I know. Yeah, we talk to them like they're humans. And Deb's a pet person as well. She's in the middle of transitioning right now into maybe another one down the road, but
maybe in a little while. So, but yeah, we're all pet lovers, so we get it. Totally get it.
So, So you got cats. Is there a significant somebody in your life? I mean, if you move to the States, would they come with you?
No, that's the best part. I'm single.
Oh, okay.
Ready.
That does make it a little bit easier. I didn't have the proper way to ask that. I probably should have thought it out a little bit better. But
no, it's fine. No, I'm completely unattached. So I'm very ready to uproot, as it were.
Yeah.
Is your whole family coming over, or just you coming over yourself?
My parents as well.
Oh, they are. Wow.
Yeah.
You are very fortunate.
Yes.
My mom went with me to Muscle Shoals, and she loved it. She loves Muscle Shoals. She was having a hard time deciding whether she wanted to move to Muscle Shoals or Clarksdale in Mississippi, but we kind of thought that Clarksdale might be a little bit too small. So Muscle Shoals, is a bit bigger of a kind of home base, and we managed to spend the entire lockdown quarantine convincing my dad that it would be a great idea, and we got him over the line. So so we are just ready to make a move.
And what support? I mean, that means so much that, you said your mom, loved it here, but for your dad to uproot and just say, okay, the support is phenomenal. That is
they're amazing. Yeah. They're my biggest supporters, and they have been since day one. All of the photos you see on my website and my social media are taken by my mom. So she takes all my photos. They both come to all of my gigs. It's really great. And, I've got a few friends who are musicians as well. And like they comment on it too, which is really sweet, like, oh, your parents are at every gig. And, it is really, really lovely. It's kind of a little bit of a kind of family business sort of thing. So yeah,
I love it. That support means so much. Yeah. Is there, one person, whether it be male or female artist, is there whoever that you would love to sit down and just have a conversation with? Could you go up the street to Keith Urban's house?
I would love to chat with him for sure. He's a huge inspiration, Keith Urban. The fact that he, did make the move from Australia to Nashville. So many artists try and do that every year, and unfortunately so many of them fail. So he's a huge success story for country music artists here. So I would love to sit down and chat with him for sure. And there's someone like Dolly Parton. She does so much philanthropic work, which is amazing. All of the programs that she has for kids and reading is just mind-blowing. It's just amazing how much she gives back.
Absolutely. It's when Deb and I are smiling because other female artists that we've talked to, I'll ask the question, and who do you think they say? Dolly Parton. Does exactly what you just said. She's just such an inspiration to so many, and the things that she does and her personality and just everything about her. And
what's amazing is she's inspiring to all ages.
Yeah, really.
So everyone looks up to her.
Boundaries and generations. Yeah, she's kind of the patron saint of country music, women in country music.
What is on your bucket list? Something
on my bucket list?
That you say, I need to do this. It's on my list. Someday I need to do this.
Play the Grand Ole Opry.
Bam. Yes.
I'd like to do that. But then I'd also love to just put on a big concert in Muscle Shoals for all of my friends and get all my, guys that played on my record up on stage with me and just have a really fun gig. And like a hot, sweaty summer night where there's lots of beer and everyone's just having a good time. And, that to me just sounds awesome.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best. There's no doubt. Do you like sports? What is there baseball or what's going on in Australia when it comes to sports?
I used to play baseball.
Oh, kidding.
Yeah, I played in the all girls league, which was really fun. I'm right-handed, but I was a left-handed batter. When I tried batting right-handed, I kind of, looked like a baby gazelle taking its first steps and falling over and being really uncoordinated. So then I tried doing it with my left hand, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so much better this way. So I wasn't really very good at throwing or catching, but I was a decent batter. But I love baseball, and I love watching the NFL, the Crimson Tide. They're such.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Did you guys see the Super Bowl?
Yeah, we watched the Super Bowl.
Wow.
I was very excited.
Very much.
So the Super Bowl, we had it on at like 6:30 at night. What time was it on over where you are?
We taped it, and so then we just it would have been like Monday morning, I think. And so yeah, we watched it Monday afternoon. We all work from home anyway, so
right.
My dad works in in food trading, and a lot of his people that he works with, they it's still Sunday over there when it's a Monday here, so Monday's kind of a day off for him. So yeah, we just sat down and watched Super Bowl then.
Oh, so is it, what are we, Wednesday? Is it Thursday over there then?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, didn't even think about that. I'm thinking it's today at
lunchtime.
I'm like living in the future.
We're cutting into our lunchtime. We just had dinner and we're ready to go to bed. I don't know. My wife's probably upstairs watching her TV shows. So.
But she's already on her next day.
Yes.
Which that is really cool.
It's crazy when you think about it, right? I got a good friend of Russell Shoals, and on New Year's Day, I messaged him. I was like, hey, hello from the future.
Hello from the future.
I love it.
Back to the Future is one of my favorite movies. So this kind of makes me think of that element. Yeah. So,
we were talking before we went on tonight. I know Deb asked the question about, does Keith Urban, is he near you? And you said he's just on the other side of the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's amazing.
And how far is the other side of the bridge?
It's so funny because it's when you refer to the bridge in Sydney, everyone knows what you're talking about. And whenever I mention it to people who are not from Sydney, and then I'm like, oh wait, hang on, they don't know. You have to actually explain this concept. But the bridge is the big sort of coat hangery one that's just near the Opera House, which is that fancy white building. And so Nicole and Keith live on the north side of that bridge, and I live on the south side of that bridge.
Gotcha.
So if I drove there, I was playing a gig quite close to where they live just on Sunday. So it takes me about 15 minutes from one side to the other.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
In that with the new year, they always show the clip on the news of the harbor with the Opera House and the fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
They
and the bridge,
that. Yeah, that's amazing.
That's the bridge, the one that they show on with the fireworks.
Right.
Yeah.
Before we let you go tonight, is there any chance we can hear one more song or no?
Yeah, definitely. How about I play Gasoline?
Awesome. Lucie Tiger, by the way, if you're just tuning in, she is in Sidney, Australia, as we speak to you right now.
Mm-hmm.
And if you, she's tuning up her guitar. If you look behind her, see the blue sky, see the leaves kind of blowing in the breeze, and it's in the middle 70s, and it's lunchtime.
And it's the next day.
Nice day.
Not even today. It's tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. We're looking into the future, everybody. All right, Lucie.
Thursday looks like.
I love it.
Yeah, so I do have to tune for Gasoline because this one's actually I use open tuning for this, so I'm not sure if you can see, but if I do, it's a chord without any.
Okay.
So I was a big fan of Keith Richards, the other Keith, when I was growing up, and he does a lot of music with open tune guitars. So that's sort of how I got into that.
Love it.
All right. So this is Gasoline. Woke up this morning and this motel's getting me down. I praise the Lord that right now I'm checking out. Just gotta get this motor started so I can hear you call me darling again. Just gotta get me some of that gasoline 'cause I got them highway blues again. Well, I pack up my suitcase and I head for the road. Oh, I said a smile gets me a discount. Guess I better quit before I get old. Just gotta get this motor started so I can hear you call me darling again. Just gotta get me some of that gasoline 'cause I got them highway blues again. Well, When I get home, you babe, I swear I won't make those same mistakes. Just rolling down this highway, I can see why they go fly over states. Just gotta get this motor started so I can hear you call me darling again. Just gotta get me some of that gasoline, 'cause I got them highway blues again. One more time, just gotta get me some of that gasoline, 'cause I got them highway blues again.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, everybody needs to go and buy this music. And everybody needs to talk about this podcast and the fact that we're talking with a future star right here. Not only is she in the future already,
Right.
but seriously, go to the website, LucieTigermusic.com. Check out the merch. Thank you. That's cool. I could go. Oh, see?
I know. We always see. I did the same thing.
Yeah.
I have to use this one. Yeah, that's what I have to do.
I know it's confusing, but I please do that, because these artists right now with the pandemic and all that, they need a lot of help. And she needs, I shouldn't say she needs a lot of help, because she's awesome in what she's doing. But the reality is, you know, nothing comes for free. Nothing's cheap. And these people got to make a living and pay their bills and get their music out there. So you can help out by supporting the artist. So that's
Thank you so much. Thank you. And everyone's support during this time has been amazing. So it's, you know, it's because of people like, well, no, this way.
Yes. Yeah.
that are, you know, really helping out us. And it means so much to be here today and to be talking to you guys. And, you know, thank you so much for having me. And thank you to all your listeners. And
we're not done yet.
Okay.
Almost, but not quite.
Almost, but not yet. And I do want to say one thing. I know we're giving everybody props here, but for me, for a radio guy, when I go on the air and I've got good music to play, it makes my job so much easier. And you're one of those that can provide that good music. And when I hear it, or when I will hear it, it's going to be, yes, this is cool. This is really cool. So it makes my job easier. And it helps the station out too. Now, Deb, it's your turn.
Do I get to do questions now?
No, I don't know. You want to give some props? I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you got questions. Yeah.
I thought that was my cue for question. We do a few fun questions towards the end, just to kind of put a little fun into it and ask you some off the beaten path things. So let's see. Well, this one's kind of normal. Do you have a favorite song of all time? I know you've grown up with a lot of great artists that we are very, very familiar with. So I'd be really curious if you have a favorite song.
Ramblin' Man, Allman Brothers.
Oh, Lord, I was Ramblin' Man.
Love it. And I haven't even heard that in a while. I'm going to put that on my playlist.
No, Born in the back seat of a Greyhound bus.
Yeah. Good one. Good one. Do you have a favorite cover song that you like to play?
Ooh, I love to play. One of my favorites to play actually at the moment is Runaway June. They just keep coming out with amazing songs. We Were Rich, Wild West. I love those songs. So I often play them when I do like a bit of a longer set and chuck a little cover in.
Love it.
That's great. More modern country there.
And these girls are awesome too. Runaway June.
Amazing.
So is pizza a popular food there?
Yes, we love pizza. I'm going to be really polarizing right now and say my favorite pizza is ham and pineapple. And don't at me. It's the best. I love it. It's great.
So actually, ham and pineapple is one of my favorites, believe it or not.
So good.
So I was going to ask you, what do you think would be the worst pizza topping that they could put on?
Oh, you know, my dad always puts anchovies on pizza. Oh. I'm just not a fan.
No.
I don't know how anybody could be a fan of anchovies, to be honest with you.
Smell, they're salty, they're disgusting.
Not a good one.
It's their own, I guess.
Let's see. What would be a fun thing to smash with a hammer?
Ooh.
I don't know where I dug that one out of.
Yeah,
that's a cool one. All right, so it's kind of sacrilege, but I'd love to smash a piano because I feel like you get lots of weird sounds coming out of it. I love horror movies as well. That's kind of like music, driving around on little roads, horror movies. Maybe like Cats are in there. And the horror movies always have really weird soundtracks, and I reckon you could basically make your own horror movie soundtrack if you smashed a piano up with a hammer.
That is I would have never thought of that, to be honest with you.
She's right on.
Like,
she's right.
I'm sitting there thinking a pineapple or eggs or something that's going to make a huge mess. And you're talking about a piano. That's great.
Yeah, I went big.
One more for you. So I know we're in a pandemic, so you're probably working out of your house so much. But if you were not, and you were going out to work every day, the first thing you do when you get home is what?
Ooh, it would be a really, really tough choice between take my bra off and
comfy,
and
comfy.
Have some like real good hug time with my cat Frank.
Oh,
I knew it had to be a cat something because you're a cat lover.
Separation anxiety. When I do go out, he is sitting at the door waiting for me. It's really cute.
Why do women always do that? Why do women? My wife does the same thing. The minute she sits down to relax, she pulls a bra out of her sleeve. I don't know how you ladies do that, but
it's a magic trick.
I don't want to know, and you don't have to get into it, but I'd be sitting there on
it's an art.
And I look over, and she goes, up,
every woman learns how to do that at a certain age, and we can't share it with the men, because if we did, they'd have way too much information. It's a real secret power.
All right, never mind.
Well,
I'm going to go down there.
We like to have our little secrets.
Yes.
So,
all right, that's
on how we do things. So, no, that's kind of funny. Once I'm in for the night, my pajamas are on, and because now it's cold. So once I get home for the night, that's it. Well, now I don't have them on, but I will after the podcast. That's awesome.
Well, I'm not going to lie, but I do have shorts on, so because it is pretty warm. It's heating up.
Well, I do have shorts on, but it's only because if I stood up, it wouldn't be pretty. But
you've got your heater cranked at probably 80 degrees down there.
Pretty much, but
I got my fan on. It's warm enough. I think it's going to be a hot one.
I'm jealous. Lucie, you're so sweet, and thank you so much for being you, number one, and thank you for the music that you're giving us. It's awesome, seriously, and I've been doing this a long time, and it's great to hear that. I still want to know how I don't hear your accent in the songs, but
the funny thing about my accent is that I'm one of those people where I spend about 5 minutes somewhere and my accent starts completely disappearing. At the very end of our last US trip, we're in Clarksdale, and we're at Ground Zero Blues Club, which is this awesome blues club where I played. And the guy comes up and he goes to me, my mom is like, "Whereabouts are you ladies from?" And that was a terrible impersonation.
No, but that's good. You did the accent when you did that. So cool.
And so I said, "Oh, we're from Sydney." And he goes, "No, you're from Memphis, right?" And I'm like, No, we are 100% from Sydney, Australia. We've got a 18-hour flight coming up in a couple days. He's like, South Memphis.
He did not want to believe your accent.
Right.
I think my accent had almost disappeared by then. I think that's what it was. I spent too long in the South. And he was convinced that we were from Memphis.
It's amazing. Love the accent, though. I love it. And I love the music. And Deb's got an accent because she's actually from Long Island originally. So she's
close to New York City.
She's got the Long Island. And
that's really cool. I love the U.S. accents. I think they're great. They're so much fun, like hearing all the differences and, the different ways that, you guys all pronounce things. And it's great. I love it.
Well, I got the Syracuse accent. So that's
me. Do.
I know I do. Lucie Tiger, you are awesome. We're gonna say goodbye here in a moment, but after we say goodbye, hang on to the line just a little bit. Don't hang up right away. But thank you for being here on the Skip Happens podcast. Of course, me, your host, Skip Clark, and Deb Lanfear, the president and founder of the Country Music Fan Club. And, if you're ever in the States and you do get a chance to do a radio tour, the door here in Central New York is open for you. And we will put you on a stage and maybe get you even more fans. And
thank you so much. I would love to come and meet you guys in person. I would love that.
I love that. And we'd even bring you into this if we were allowed to at that time. Well, if you're here, I guess we would be allowed to bring you into the zone here. I have a full studio, and that's where I'm sitting right now. And yeah, before this whole pandemic thing, this is where everybody was coming before we were doing this. So thank you. You're so cool. And socials, everything can be found on your website, right?
Yep. You just go at LucieTiger Music, and that's where you can find me. And Tiger is my real middle name. In case you're wondering.
Really? I love it. Tiger. Lucie.
Oh.
And by the way, Gordy, who's been posting all night over here, Gordy, because of all those posts, you need to go to her merchandise store and buy a hat, a shirt, whatever else she has. One of each.
There you go.
This young. All right, LucieTiger, thank you so much. Don't forget, everybody, like us on YouTube. It Skip Happens. And, of course, Deb, you have your Facebook info.
Yeah, at the official CMFC, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we're everywhere.
The whole thing. All right, Lucie, you're awesome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon in the warm 70s temperature in Sydney, Australia. God bless you, my friend.
Thank you guys so much. Stay safe.
Thank you.
You too.